Greetings, Earthlings. I have another update from the Absurdium for you. Now, for those that don't know, the hold up to the negotiations is not Hamas, it's Israel. And it's primarily Benjamin Netanyahu as he clamours to try and keep what's left of his coalition intact. And he is now down to a minority of 48, and he needs 13 more members to join his coalition. He's desperately trying to keep Smotrich in the cabinet. Smotrich has called for the full annexation of Gaza, and what is currently going on in Gaza is not even a conflict anymore. Any incidents, security incidents that you're seeing involving the IDF being injured is them basically walking onto IEDs that are planted by Hamas that are now acting in a completely guerrilla kind of functionality. The main purpose of the operation is demolition. They have private contractors in there with bulldozers, and they are flattening Gaza, and they are pushing the Palestinian population into smaller and smaller segments, and they are now designated 86% of the enclave as an active war zone, which basically means shoot to kill. All 4 of the 8 distribution sites are placed within those active war zone sites. Okay? So, the airdrops, 2 of them were by Egypt and Jordan. They are basically attempts to placate their own populations who are starting to get deeply angry about the situation in Gaza now. So that's basically a cynical attempt to avert any trouble domestically for those 2 countries. Aid trucks are getting in, but they're being looted or stolen. Although when some people do get to them, they're being fired upon by the IDF. The last deal that Hamas tried to broker for a permanent ceasefire, not a temporary one, which is basically we stop firing, we get the hostages, and then we're going to carry on with the demolition of Gaza because they're going to annex it. They also had in there a provision that should the Israeli government allow a technocratic government to take hold of Gaza and to administrate it, they would disarm and they would go into exile. Now, Netanyahu stripped that from the agreement. Netanyahu doesn't want Hamas to go anywhere because Hamas being there gives him the cover to do what they're actually doing, which is ethnic cleansing. This isn't about Hamas anymore. This is about wiping Gaza off the map and subsuming it into greater Israel. That's all this is about now, okay? You need to understand it through that lens. And for anybody who still believes that Hamas is stealing the food, my God, can you stop consuming mainstream media slop? That includes my mum. I'm actually embarrassed. Like some of the, you can tell it's propaganda because it comes straight back out of the mouth, verbatim, exactly as the Ministry of Diaspora Affairs wants you to say it. And for those that don't know, there was an interview with Netanyahu on Fox about a week and a half ago where he said that they're going to open an 8th front, and that was going to be propaganda. That's why he went on the Nelk Boys. They got absolutely shredded for it. He tried to go on Rogan. Thankfully, Rogan apparently has a couple of brain cells left to bang together and said no, because he knew exactly what that was going to be about. There is another propaganda push. That's what the airdrops are for. It's optics. Letting some trucks in and then stealing them. Optics. I'm part of the CJPME, and there are people who have contacts on the ground in Gaza. Those trucks aren't getting through. And I'm sure you've all seen the Squid Game, like images coming out of the aid distribution sites. But let's let's get this away from numbers and just a sea of humanity and carnage, and let's like just pin it down to a single person and their story. It hits home a lot harder, I can tell you. Okay, so this is from former US Green Beret breaks silence after seeing live murder of Gaza child seeking aid. Anthony Aguilar, a former US Army Green Beret and private contractor who worked with the US and Israeli-backed Global Humanitarian Front, GHF, I think that's a typo, but it's more like it, has come forward to speak out publicly for the first time. And he says, on May the 28th, at secure distribution site number 2, this young boy, Amir, walks over to me, reaches out and kisses my hand. This boy is not wearing shoes. His clothes are falling off him because he is so skinny. He doesn't have a box. He has a half a bag of rice, lentils, and he was thanking us. He walked 12 kilometers to get there. And when he got there, he thanked us for the crumbs he got. And he set them on the ground, and his frail, skeletal, emaciated hands, and he kissed me and said thank you. And then he collected his items, walked back to the group, and then he was shot at with pepper spray and tear gas and stun grenades and bullets. And he was shot at his feet and in the air, and he runs away. And the IDF was shooting at the crowd. They are shooting, and they are shooting into this crowd, and Palestinians, civilians, human beings are dropping to the ground, and Amir was one of them. Amir walked 12 kilometers to get food, got nothing but scrapped, thanked us for it, and died. That's Hamas doing that, right? Bloody Hamas. At some point, you boomers are going to have to find your arse cheeks with both hands and accept that you've been sold a lemon for 77 years. Israel lies all the time. And Israel have had such impunity to lie for so long, their lies aren't even any good when you break them down. Every accusation is a confession. Every act of terrorism that is in existence today was invented by Zionist militias. Don't have to believe me. You can read it in the IDF archives if you are willing to pick up any of Ilan Pappé's books. He just cites IDF archives. There's no emotional content. It's simply what they plan to do and how they carried that out. One of the most famous being Plan Dalet. Now, this is an extermination. They're going to push the Palestinians into a concentration camp. They're going to annex Gaza. And they will not put the PA in charge, regardless of what we think of Abbas. He's as corrupt as they come. It would give legitimacy to Palestine, and then multiple countries will start recognizing it as a state. And that would be a problem for the Greater Israel Project. Okay,